In a New Orleans, a group of drug dealers gather as a man known as Biggie presents them with a new product that he will give them for free in order to sell. It is a unique pill called Power that gives its users a random superpower for 5 minutes. However, not everyone reacts in the same way, and some have been known to explode seconds after taking the pill. Biggie begins with one curious dealer, Newt, who believes it's too good to be true. Weeks later, Newt's cousin Robin, a talented rapper, is selling Power on the streets. 3 thieves attempt to rob her before Detective Frank Shaver arrives to rescue her. One of the men tries to take Power, but Frank stops him and pretends to arrest Robin to force the others to leave. In fact, he and Robin are friends since she sells him Power. However, Frank also attempts to keep Robin out of trouble. He even gives her a motorbike as a late birthday present. Arthur Art Riley, also known as the Major, visits an apartment complex in search of Newt and the source of Power. Newt has been getting more disfigured as a result of his excessive power use in recent weeks. Art makes his way inside and discovers Newt's stash of Power. Newt reaches for his gun and tries to kill Art, but Art shoots the gun away. Newt uses Power to activate his power, which is to set his entire body flame. He pursues Art across the complex before swallowing 3 more pills to try to take him down. He gets dunked underwater by Art and just able to say Biggie's name before Power explodes his body. Art gets out on time. Robin's mother, Irene, wakes her up because she is late to school and struggles with her grades. In class, she texts Newt for more Power, but Art responds because he took Newt's phone. Robin's teacher criticizes her for her lack of concentration and asks what she is good at. The rest of the class cheers as her friend, who says to be a talented rapper, begins to create a beat for Robin to freestyle and make fun of the teacher. However, this was only an imagination, and she goes to the principal's office instead of giving up her phone. Frank is dispatched to a bank robbery in which a criminal, Griff, is using Power to utilize camouflage to avoid detection. Frank takes a Power pill and timed himself. He pursues Griff, who just escapes on a train car before opening the money bag and being showered with powder. Frank chases him into an alley, where Griff snatches his gun and shoots him in the head, but Frank's ability to be partially invincible allows him to defeat the criminal. Unfortunately, Captain Crane chastises Frank for using Power and forces him to hand in his weapons and badge. Crane offers Frank a photo of Art before he goes, because it is believed that he is the source of Power. Later, Art goes looking for Robin at Church's Chicken, where she always meets Newt. He slices her bike tire and kidnaps her, throwing her in his trunk. Art takes her to a quiet spot to question her about where she and Newt obtained Power, while also threatening to pursue Irene. He gives Robin a photo of a woman and a bald man who are thought to have something to do with Power, but neither is Biggie. He gives her a phone number for a Power warehouse and tells her to go to a Hong Kong market and ask for alligator wine. Art and Robin arrive at the market, and she requests alligator wine. She meets a man in the back named Quayo, who takes Power after learning that Art is outside. Other henchmen emerge to kill Art, but he kills the most of them. Quayo shoots Art in the chest, but he keeps moving and incapacitates Quayo. In his painful illusion, he sees Robin as Tracy, another girl around her age. He and Robin then locate computers that track all of Power's users, with Art claiming that Power's developers are testing it on buyers. A notice emerges for an assembly scheduled in less than 2 hours, along with a location. Art asks Robin to take him there. Meanwhile, Quayo, still using Power, manages to take the bullets out of his body. He rushes to attack Art and Robin in the market, but Art stabs him to death as his power runs out. Art begins to honestly ask Robin for assistance, saying all he wants is to find his daughter. Robin then takes care of Art's wounds. Frank discovers something is wrong with Robin and goes to her house, where he finds Irene being harassed by 2 police officers. He gets into the house and pretends to be Irene's lover, nearly revealing his cover, but convinces Irene that he is a friend of Robin's to persuade the police. Art and Robin become closer, with him revealing that he used to be a soldier, the Major, and he discovers that she loves to rap, so she spits some rhymes for him. Before they go, Robin demands $10,000 from whatever they receive. On the way to the presentation, Art reveals that he was used in Power experiments by a business named Telios, and Tracy was born with powers despite never having taken the pill, so a Telios person kidnapped her and is using her blood to produce the Power pills. Art's memory soon begins to mingle, and he believes Robin is Tracy and that they are being followed, just as they were the day she was kidnapped. Robin is able to snap Art out of his illusion before they collide. Art and Robin arrive at the presentation place as does Frank, who followed down users to the location. Art sneak in and see Biggie presenting Power to a South American cartel chief, matriarch, by having a woman, Candy, act as a test subject as her boyfriend Moto observes. Biggie advertises the drug as possessing the qualities of some animals, specifically those that can adapt to live. Candy can freeze herself and manage her body temperature. Meanwhile, Frank tracks down Robin and tries to persuade her that Art is the mastermind behind Power, despite the fact that she knows better. Art murdered a man and gets closer to Biggie, but he is discovered, and Matriarch attempts to flee with the pills while Art holds Biggie at gunpoint. Biggie's men engage in a battle with the cartel. Candy is stuck within the demonstration room and frozen to death. Art captures Biggie and shoots 3 of his fingers before informing him that Gardner and her henchman Wallace, who kidnapped Tracy, will be on a yacht called Genesis. Frank attempts to arrest Art until they realize they are both working with Robin, just as Biggie uses power to transform into a massive monster. The heroes leave the building as Biggie pursues them, but Art opens some gas canisters and fires at Biggie, triggering an explosion that kills him. Frank arrests Art, but Art informs him about Tracy and explains that Crane takes orders from Telios. After Art allows himself to be kidnapped by Telios in order to board the Genesis, Frank gains entry by tough-talking the guard, only for the guard to shoot him, unaware that Frank had used power to become invincible again, allowing him to get back up and sneak onto the boat. Art confronts Telios' CEO Dr. Gardner, who has been experimenting on him since the beginning. Frank and Robin enter and face off against a guard who has powered himself to make his limbs flexible, but Frank blocks him in a door, eventually destroying his arm. Wallace pursues them, using power to attain superhuman strength. When a guard notices that Art has a power pill in his mouth as a last resort, he agrees to let him escape. Wallace finds Art, but he is shot twice before Frank can rescue him. Robin then discovers Tracy and frees her. They fight another guard who uses power to make his bones protrude and use them as weapons, but Art only manages to impale him with it. He reunites with Tracy before they make their getaway. Gardner appears as the 4 attempt to get off the boat and insists that Art surrender with Tracy or she would kill Robin. Art walks out to confront Gardner, but he takes the power pill and transforms into a pistol shrimp, allowing him to make whips that kill the henchman and drop a crane on Gardner. Tracy saves Art's life when he nearly dies. The 4 are finally able to depart. Frank returns Robin home and plans to expose Telios and Power. Art says goodbyes to Robin and leaves with Tracy. Robin returns to her mother with her given amount of cash. Art and Tracy drive away across a bridge, finally free.